The morning she was thrown out of her home, the sun was already high, lighting up the quiet street as if nothing cruel had happened. Anya stood barefoot on the pavement, her small suitcase tilted at her side, watching the front door close without hesitation. Years of loyalty, patience, and silent prayers were reduced to a single verdict she had no control over. She was labeled incomplete, unwanted, and replaceable, simply because her body had failed to meet someone else's expectations. The sound of the lock clicking echoed louder than her own heartbeat, and in that moment the world felt painfully awake while her life felt over. Before the story goes any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and quiet miracles that happen in broad daylight, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Life Spark Stories. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Anya walked for hours under the open sky, the afternoon sun burning her skin as if trying to wake her from a nightmare. She had nowhere to go. Her parents were gone, her relatives distant, and her dignity bruised beyond words. She found herself sitting on a public bench near a park where children laughed freely, their joy cutting into her like glass. She kept her eyes down, ashamed of a future that felt empty, replaying years of blame and whispered insults that had slowly convinced her she was worth less than others. Across the road, a modern glass building reflected the bright blue sky. Inside it worked Kabir Mehra, a self-made CEO who had learned the weight of responsibility early in life. A single father since his wife's sudden passing, balanced board meetings with school lunches and bedtime routines. His success was visible, but his loneliness lived quietly behind it. That afternoon, he stepped outside during a break, sunlight catching his tired eyes as he noticed Anya sitting alone, her posture heavy with loss. There was something familiar in her stillness, the kind of silence that comes from enduring too much. Kabir's life had taught him to recognize brokenness not as weakness, but as survival. He observed how Anya flinched at passing footsteps, how she clutched her bag as if it were the last proof of her existence. Without knowing why, he felt compelled to help. He approached not as a businessman, but as a human being who understood grief. He offered water, shade, and most importantly, respect. When he asked her to come with him, not an order or a promise, but an invitation to safety spoken gently under the open daylight. Anya hesitated, fear battling exhaustion. Trust had failed her before. Something in Kabir's calm presence felt different. She followed him to a modest guest house arranged through his foundation, a place meant for women rebuilding their lives. The rooms were simple, sunlit, and clean, and for the first time in months, Anya slept without fear. Days passed, then weeks filled with counseling sessions, skill workshops, afternoons where she relearned how to breathe without guilt. Kabir never hovered, never questioned her past, never treated her as broken. He focused on his son Arav, a gentle child who loved drawing under the afternoon sun. Slowly, Anya's presence became part of their routine, helping with homework, preparing meals, and bringing warmth into a house that had known only order, not comfort. Though she had been told she could never be enough, she found herself becoming something essential, because of biology, but because of love. Challenges did not disappear. Society's whispers followed her, and her own doubts returned often. But each morning, daylight reminded her she had survived the worst. She began working with Kabir's foundation, supporting other women cast aside for reasons beyond their control. Pain transformed into purpose, and her silence into strength. Near the end of this journey, if this story has touched your heart or reminded you that healing is possible even after deep rejection, please take a moment to engage with this video. And shares help spread messages of hope to those who may need them most. Just before we reach the ending, we have a special request for you. Please comment below and share your thoughts or a message of support, because your words might become someone else's light.